Every now and then I get a tip that asks me something so specific that I get more general when I show you how to do it. Okay, here's what this person asked for. How would you set up a painting to do a small dining room table with 4 chairs around it, seen from the perspective of a living room couch? In other words, the table would be at eye level. Well, you gave yourself the clue right there when you said the table would be at eye level. Now, I did give you a quick tip on foreshortening, or I think somewhere back. But here's the way to think about things like that. I'm not going to do a painting of a table at eye level with dining room chairs around it. I'm going to show you how to see it so that then you will know how to paint it. So whenever there are horizontal lines, or we would call it move it horizontal, even these would be horizontal lines that are turning away from you, these lines. Even this, even though that tends to be more vertical, it's turning directly, almost directly away from you. Those lines are the space between those lines will tell you where your eye level is. Now, your eye level is right here, wherever you are. And if I sit down, that's where my eye level is. So if I'm sitting on a couch, that's where my eye level is going to be. So everything from that eye, everything will be drawn according to where that eye level is. Now, so what do you look for? Well, first of all, at your eye level, those horizontal lines are all going to be straight lines, horizontal. Let me show you. I've got 4 photographs here of tables and chairs. Not necessarily 4 chairs all around all of them. Well, I tried to get it close. So, what do you see here? Here, the eye level is above. You can tell that because you can see more of the tabletop. So if it's a tabletop or anything that's flat and horizontal like that, if you can see the top of it, you are above it. And the further or the higher up your eye level is, above the table or above the surface, the more you're going to see. So the first thing you look for is how much are you seeing. And you would simply draw those lines at a distance that would show you how much you're seeing. So for example, for this table, we see the lines are tilted. And by the way, depending on where you are, if you were looking straight at the edge of the table, or say like we are here, then you would see the ends of the table tilting in a different direction. So you look for the tilt of lines, or you might say the angle of lines, and you look for the amount of space that was between one edge and another. So for example, this one is tilted. If you were looking at the clock, 3 o'clock would be right here. This is tilting up closer to 2 o'clock. So that line is going to be tilted more like that. And then you see how much space do you see between this edge and this edge. Well, you can see about this much space right here, and you see that this edge comes over about like that. So this is sort of what you're seeing for that table. You're above it. Then if you look at the chairs, those lines are going to be tilted accordingly. So if the chairs are pushed under the table, you can see these lines are pretty much parallel with that, with this line. So we see the edge of those chairs. We can see them pretty much just parallel like that. The edge of the chairs on this side, and we see then that the backs of the chairs, if they're pushed right up next to the table, are pretty much parallel to this line. So you can see parallel, parallel. And then these would be the same way. This is what you look for. The ones on the end, you see that is straight line going across here. You see this is parallel to that. How much of the seats you see? You see more of the seats, a little bit more than you see of the tabletop, because they're further down from your eye level, which is about right up here somewhere. So you can see progressively, I'll just take this away. You can see progressively, this tabletop you see a little bit less of because the eye level is a little bit lower down. So you see less of the tabletop. You see this tilting very slightly, not much, but very slightly up above 3, here, here, here. And so you would use the same principle of drawing that line here and here, but closer together because your eye level is a little lower down. Here, your eye level is almost at the edge of the table. Now, no matter whether you're sitting on a couch or you're sitting on a beanbag, or it doesn't matter what you're sitting on, it's where your eye level is that causes you to see things the way you see them. So here you see almost horizontal. Those lines are almost horizontal with each other. Not quite. Your eye level here is slightly above this edge here. Here is the one where you would see it from sitting on a couch at the eye level of the table itself. And what do you see? You see horizontal lines. Whoops, that's not a horizontal line. You see horizontal line. And then what do you see here? As you see the edge of the table, another horizontal line. You don't see the back of the table. All you see is the edge. You'll see more of what is underneath here than you see up here. So these continue to be parallel lines. This line continues to be a parallel line. All these, the chairs, if there are chairs sitting underneath, or if they're sitting in the back, if they're pushed straight up against the table, they're all horizontal lines. So all that is horizontal lines. And what do you see of the chairs? You see the chair, how much of those chairs you're going to see will depend upon where you are in relation. Now here, our eye level is about right here. We know that because we don't see anything of the chairs themselves. So at that point, we're just dealing with straight lines, more or less straight lines all the way down. Those are not exactly straight, but you get the idea. Well, maybe we could do a little bit better job at that. More or less straight lines. And then we'll see here a slight little tilt. But you see, when you're sitting, when you're looking at something like that at an eye level, you're going to see very, very little of the horizontal parts that move away from you. So what I recommend that you do is study or observe. Observe what your eye level is doing. And when you're looking at something, don't just see table, but even if you need to hold a straight edge up like this, with your eye level, hold that edge up and compare the lines that you're seeing with the edge that you're looking beyond, and you'll see some that will move up and some that will move down. If you are looking straight at that, whatever you see above it, the lines will move down. Whatever you see below in the horizontal, the lines will seem to move more up in this direction. But most of those lines that are close together are simply going to be straight across. Be sure to view all of our quick tips. And while you're doing so, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell so you'll always get a notice when we produce a new quick tip, which is every week. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments section and we'll make a quick tip for you. Also, take a trip over to DianneMize.com where I have full-length lessons, downloads, DVDs, lots of other stuff there, some free stuff for you. And while you're there, you can subscribe to the newsletter, and that way you'll always be informed every time we do something new.